You know what's fucking bizarre? It said my stream disconnected, right? But when it said it was disconnected, I was still streaming and I saw that on my phone. So I was like, why lie? Anyways, let me say what I said beforehand before I fucking dropped out for no fucking reason. I miss the days when the newest Marvel movie was considered to be like an event. Sure, you can legit say No Way Home was, and Guardians 3 was, easily. And even Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. Sure, you can argue that. But what's weird is that even though it's not even been 2 weeks since I've seen it, and the only place I see Guardians 3 stuff is on James Gunn's page. That's it. No one talks about Guardians at all. Anyway. But what's weird is that even in Phase 3, for every single movie, even some in Phase 2, it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. And what's weird is that pre-Phase 3, so maybe pre-Avengers 2, I would say, is that the MCU was like this niche thing, but then everyone found out that everyone else liked it, so it's become this massive thing. So now, Marvel for Infinity War and Endgame were like normal shit to watch, and now it's almost like the MCU is at this weird state where those who were fans initially still watch, but those who consider to be normally shit don't watch it anymore because they thought Endgame was the final thing. It's a bit sad. I knew it was going to come to this eventually, because like I was thinking even in Phase 3, it's like this is a lot of fucking movies, and we're not even at Avengers 3 yet. And my mind back then, I didn't know we were going to get Avengers 5 or fucking 6, you know? Or even a Fantastic Four movie. Or a Thor 4, you know? I knew we were going to get a Guardians 3. I knew we were going to get a Black Panther 2 and eventually 3. I knew we were going to get an Ant-Man 3. I knew we were going to get a Captain Marvel 2 and 3. And Doctor Strange 2 and 3. Because that's just how it goes. Like, you make a trilogy in the MCU. The weird outliers are Incredible Hulk and Black Widow. We're not going to get a sequel for Black Widow, however, Thunderbolts is acting as that, but it's also acting as the Avengers of Phase 5. But that's the thing that Phase 4 did wrong. Because Phase 1 all led into Avengers. Phase 2 kind of all led into Age of Ultron to an extent. And which led directly into Phase 3 for Civil War, and all those stories intertwined to connect to Infinity War. That's why Phase 4 has failed. Like, in terms of universe building. Sure, expand the universe, but also have them meet, you know? Sure, you're doing that with Thunderbolts, but that's Phase 5. If you had a Thunderbolts type story within Phase 4, it would have probably came together. Like, if we could have seen, I don't know, some form of team up that wasn't just Falcon the Winter Soldier, which had Bucky and Zemo and the Falcon. Also, Rhodey was in it for an episode, which is pretty cool. But I'm just hoping the rest of Phase 5 it'll be good. Because people legit, everyone thought Quantumania was going to be this amazing movie. And it's regarded as being mediocre. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's probably the most different MCU movie you would ever watch. It's not like the first two Ant-Man movies by far. It's unfortunate. I like the first Ant-Man. The second one was a bit alright. Not the best. But then again, like, is this considered Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man the Wasp 2? Are we going to get another Ant-Man the Wasp or not? Or we're just gonna get the Wasp movie, or Stinger, because that's the name of Cassie. I don't know. All I hope is... Oh, fuck, whoops. I was playing the big loud music, oops. All I hope is that... all I hope is that The Marvels is actually a good movie, because I'm intrigued with the Miss Marvel story, and I'm intrigued with Monica Rambeau. I do not give two shits about fucking the Captain Marvel in this universe. The way they should have done it, they should have introduced Marvel as Captain Marvel and have Carol Danvers in that story, then make her become Miss Marvel by the end. And if Marvel dies in that story, to her become Captain Marvel would be 10 times better. You know? Because Carol Danvers is always Miss Marvel in my brain. You know? Sure, same thing with fucking the other Miss Marvel. You know? It's just because those two characters are Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan. It's just, I don't know, they should have introduced Marvel as a Kree. Then I don't know, like, it would have been cooler to have Marvel and Carol Danvers be in Infinity War and Endgame. Or just, I don't know. I feel like they introduced that cosmic entity a bit too late. You know, releasing your OP character right after Avengers Infinity War, to have her to be in the next Avengers movie, to be the being that saves everyone. It's kind of like, this is the strong character that will save everyone, do it. And to this day, like, Captain Marvel is a weak link in Phase 3. It's because I think they wanted a strong character that is also female, but can also be the leader of the next Avengers. But I will say this right now. She will not be the leader of the Avengers. Guaranteed. Sure, her name's Captain, but it's not like Captain America Captain. It's more like she wants to be a captain. Which is a shame. But then again, we have a Captain America. We have not only will we probably get a Bucky Captain America eventually, right now we have a Sam Wilson Captain America, which I'm intrigued to see. But that suit has a little bit too much white on it for me. Look more blue on it and look cooler. Anyways, I digress. I'm a very big Marvel fan, and I'm so happy where the MCU has, what it has done, and I'm so glad it's still releasing content, albeit a bit too much. Multiple TV shows a year plus 3 fucking movies is a bit too much, and condensing one entire phase to be within 1 year, because 1 year from now we'll already be in phase fucking 6, which is breaking my brain. How? We just started phase 5. Yet next year, this time, we're getting Deadpool 3, which is in Phase 6. How the fuck does that work? Like, we should still be in Phase 4 in my brain. We're still just finished Endgame. We should still be on Phase 4. Do an Avengers movie. Phase 5, do another Avengers movie. Phase 6, do another Avengers movie. And that probably will stretch out to 2028. Not 2026. I don't know, I hope Marvel is listening to fans and sees what they did with Guardians 3, because Guardians 3 has been the best MCU movie. People are saying since Endgame, but no, it's the best since No Way Home, because No Way Home was the best since Endgame at that point. Before that, we only had Far From Home, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals there. Shang-Chi was it's pretty good movie. Not gonna lie. And then that's the thing. When you look at these stories, when you look at Black Widow, it's set in between Civil War and Infinity War, and she's already dead, so she's not coming back. So, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Spider-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther. These are very different stories. How can they connect? You know, I do not see Shang-Chi fucking hanging out with Hank Pym. Or Paul Rudd's character. Scott Lang. Because you're not even talking about it. That's what I fucking love about Phase 2. Phase 2 was about the aftermath from the first Avengers movie. Like, Iron Man 3 directly was. You had Bruce Banner show up at the end. Thor: The Dark World is a little bit indifferent, because it's more about Loki. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, easily, right after the events of Avengers. Guardians, not so much, because that's its own story. Then into Age of Ultron. Like, it just worked. That's how you meant to do a sequel to the crossover movies. Like, between the two crossover movies, you see movies that people grow in. Amazing. And you did that as well into Infinity War. Very massive difference between the movies. Like, it's... I'm gonna see from here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 7 whole movies in between Age of Ultron and Infinity War. And bear in mind, that's only 3 years, when you think about it. And that's the thing that I fucking hate with the MCU now. We're getting these announcements of movies years away, when back in the day, we didn't even know what movie was coming out next year. When we were watching fucking Thor and Captain America, we had no idea Avengers was coming out the next year. You know? When watching Avengers, we didn't know Iron Man 3 was coming out. We didn't know Captain America 2 was coming out. We just didn't fucking know. But with Phase 3, they announced Phase 3 movies, and we're gonna see all these movies. Like, Inhumans was in there. We had Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. And Captain America Servant Society, but in that same speech, could change it to Civil War. But I do hope they're gonna do surprise announcements, like how they did with Spider-Man Homecoming. They just came out of nowhere. Like, they got the deal in early 2016 or something. He showed up in Civil War. This movie came out the next year. Then 2 years after that, another Spider-Man movie. 2 years after that, another Spider-Man movie. 2 years after that, 2023, we're having Across the Spider-Verse. I don't know, man. I just hope the MCU is like... Because not only are these movies are arguably bad, they're still alright movies to watch, they're just not as good as Phase 2 and 3. Not only are they bad, as I just said, it's also piling onto superhero fatigue that some people got just before Endgame, but a lot of people got right after Endgame. Like, there's so many people that didn't watch Black Widow, didn't watch Eternals, didn't watch Shang-Chi, but only watched the ones they cared about, like Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and Guardians 3. Black Panther 2 can be up there. Same with Thor 4, but a lot of people haven't even seen Thor 4 because they knew it was going to be bad. I don't know how. But you know what's so bizarre is that the projects that I was so excited for within Phase 4 turned out to be the worst. Thor and She-Hulk. Those are the 2 things I was very hyped for. But Thor 4, after just... What's odd is that I want another Thor movie in the same vein as the first two Thor movies. You know, like if you can get a Thor 5 that's in the direction Chris Hemsworth wanted Thor to go in, and less comedic and more serious, and have it be a good fucking movie like how Guardians 3 was less comedy and more seriousness, it would be fucking amazing. If they could redeem Thor, have that as his magnum opus, his final movie, whether it be just before Secret Wars or what after Secret Wars, it would be fucking amazing. But we're also getting Armor Wars as well, which is fucking crazy. Armor Wars was initially meant to be a series, and we're making it a movie. You know, that's essentially Iron Man 4. It's very exciting. The only reason I was talking about this is because there was no movie to review tonight. Because I didn't watch one last night. I was going to watch one, but I didn't. Because I was like, what do I watch? And I figured out what I wanted to watch, and I didn't watch what I wanted to watch. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Let us play the movie. Game. Another day off last night. Kinda, I didn't want to. I just wanted to nap. But then, when I woke up from said nap, I wanted to sleep more. Then I set an alarm, and the alarm didn't go off, or maybe it did. Then I just woke up at... I woke up at 11:30, and I was like, I'm not gonna start No, I woke up at 12, and I'm like, I'm not gonna start streaming at 12, man. Sure, I can stream for 2 hours, but 12? Nah. 11:30, yeah. Ugh.